What is good, everybody? Today, I want to take a look at Chase Young and just some of the plays that he made against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, when the Saints signed Chase Young to that extension this offseason, I was one of the doubters. I'm not going to lie. I thought, oh, it's just another bad contract for the Saints. Here we go again, right? And then he starts the year. He's hurt to start the year, misses a few games, and it's like, oh, yep, knew it. There it is, right? But I got to say, since this guy has been on the field, he has produced. He has been a really good football player for the Saints, and the contract that they gave him is looking to be a really healthy one, right? In a world where the Saints don't often get it right anymore, it seems like so far, at least, the Chase Young contract was actually a decent one, right? Because he's played really solid football since he has been on the field for them, right? Both pass game and run game. And in fact, this video, you're going to see probably more clips against the run than the pass. Both equally as important, right? And so I think that he played well all season. In this game against Atlanta, he had a few really nice plays as well, and I think he deserves to get some love. So that's what we're going to do today. Chase Young versus the Falcons. Let's do it. So for this first play here, the Falcons are going to try and run the ball outside with Bijan Robinson, and they're going to do so by motioning a tight end at the snap into here and sort of creating this extra gap. So what happens is Chase Young is going to have to really play both inside and outside of this tight end here. Okay, and you're going to see he's going to do a really nice job of controlling this tight end and basically taking him where he wants to go, and then he's going to be there to get in on the stop on Bijan Robinson, right? So let's go ahead and press play here and see what we can get. So watch Chase Young here, all right? Watch what he does to this tight end. So tight end, Chase Young sees the run coming this way, gets low, hands inside, tight elbows, and extends that tight end right there, right? Now, first thing he does is he checks this gap right here. Is the running back coming this way? Mind you, we got our guy extended. We are controlling him. We can do whatever. We can make this guy do whatever we want at this point, right? So Chase Young checks this gap. Okay, the running back isn't coming there. Let me get rid of this guy now. Boom, and just literally tosses this dude, and he goes rolling down the field, right? And then he ends up making the tackle, right? So again, extend, not there, get rid of him, get back into the inside gap, and be right there and on the tackle of Bijan Robinson, right? This is a phenomenal rep against the run from Chase Young here. Again, just tosses that tight end out of the club and gets in on the tackle. Next one here, Chase Young is going to end up getting a sack, and what the Falcons are trying to do is they're trying to run this hook, Pitts behind it, and then down here at the bottom of the screen, we're going to get a comeback, and it really looks like Kirk Cousins is focusing on maybe first he's looking at the hook here, and then he gets over here to this comeback route, which eventually is going to come open, right? Maybe get a tad bit of a push off down here at the bottom of the screen right there, right? And this is going to be open, right? And this is on a 3rd down and 4, by the way. So if Chase Young isn't there for the sack, if he doesn't collapse the pocket and get this sack, who knows? Kirk Cousins may stand and deliver this ball, right? But because Chase Young is bearing down pressure on the backside and ends up sacking him, it's 3rd down, now it's 4th down, right? And probably Kirk Cousins probably had a chance here at Pitts over the middle, maybe if he wants to give him a shot. But he's looking at this comeback down here, and we can see it from this view here. You see, looking right, he wants that comeback. But as soon as maybe it comes open, Chase Young gets there. And really, this is just a really good effort sack from Chase Young with the bull rush, right? Can't really put this too much on the offensive tackle. I mean, more like half on the tackle, half on the quarterback for holding on the ball and being a statue in the pocket. But as far as Chase Young goes, just a nice bull rush, right? Nice low, hands in the chest. And I like what he does with that outside hand here. If you can see, he lifts that tackle's arm off of him, right? And then when that tackle goes to replace his hands on the inside, it's too late because Chase Young now has 2 hands on the chest plate of that tackle, and he's able to use that to extend, stay low still, drive his feet, and get to the quarterback before the quarterback has a chance to throw that comeback that was wide open on the other side on this 3rd down in this game. So really nice job from Chase Young getting there before the quarterback can see a guy open. Next one here is same sort of run rep as that first one I showed you guys. Again, we're going to bring the tight end, insert him in here, trying to get the run out to our right there left. Chase Young, once again, going to be attacking this tight end here, right? And what I like about this is he's able to absorb this double team right here, actually just like completely disregard it and still hold his gap right here, extend, right? Strong inside leg here, plant foot, right? Same arm that we're extending that tight end out with, and we are making this running back have to bounce this thing all the way out here. And that's when we have the troops to rally outside and Alontae Taylor and Jonas Sanker. Bijan keeps those legs moving, but still, this is really like a 2.5, maybe 3 yard gain. And it all starts with Chase Young, right? Or really Demario Davis with the inside penetration. But Chase Young does a nice job here holding that edge, right? And again, what I like the most is the double team that he disregards, because if Kyle Pitts is able to actually get more into Chase Young and actually move him, right, then Chase Young would end up over here on this side, and that tackle could be in front of Chase Young, and then Pitts could then move up here, right, and you could have somewhat of a run crease in there. But that's just not going anywhere or doing anything because of the strong rep against the run here from Chase Young. Again, not caring about that double team, totally disregarding it. Strong plant leg from the inside, extending, hat in our play side gap, watching that running back, disengaging, right, and grabbing onto him right there and preventing him from getting any more yards than he already did. So another really strong run against, or another really strong rep against the run for Chase Young. Next one here, and these are the types of plays that don't show up on the stats sheet, but really still impact the game. So we're just going to get the pocket collapse from Chase Young here, but the Falcons are going to look for like a stop and go, and then we got like a whip or return route here on the outside. But on the backside here is where I think they might have a chance at something open. So we're going to get like a post through here and then a short post behind it, right? And I think, if Kirk Cousins would have had time to make his way to the backside of this thing, and you can see he's going to look that way, maybe would have had a chance at a big play. But because we get that pocket collapsed from Chase Young, he just doesn't have the time, and he has to escape out of there and just throw it away. So right off the rip, we get a really good jump on the snap from Chase Young here. But you can see Kirk Cousins looking right. He doesn't like it, moves on to his next read, doesn't like that, right? And then by the time he gets backside to where I think he would have had 87, I think it's 87, 81, one of the two right here, it's just too late, and he has to get out of there and get rid of the ball, right? So if we look at this thing from this end zone view, again, really nice jump off the snap from Chase Young. Just a bull rush, right? And it's not a bad rep from the tackle or anything. It's just more so half coverage sack, half quarterback holding the ball too long. So again, Chase Young, bull rush, hands in the chest. Just keep on working. Fight through the chip from Bijan right there. Bijan, boom, with a nice chip. Oh, well, he still works. And you can see Kirk Cousins is now coming backside. And again, maybe would have been open, right? But the pocket is collapsed, and he just doesn't have room to even attempt to make a throw, and he has to end up scrambling out of there, okay, and getting rid of the football. So real quick, just some final thoughts on, the season that Chase Young is having, despite the Saints not having a successful year. I think, basically what I said at the beginning of the video, eventually, I think this is going to really look like a good contract for the Saints. I know at first we were all a little hesitant to say so or think so because of, some of the stuff that has happened with Chase Young in his career, effort issues, injuries, whatever. But I think so far on the field this year, he's been pretty solid. He's been a really solid football player that I think matches the value of the contract that was given to him. So I think overall this is a good contract for the Saints in, a sea of bad ones that they've given out in the recent years. So appreciate you guys watching. Peace.